You may think that what you are now witnessing was in fact done by a crazy person. And if you are thinking that, then, well, you'd be right, probably. Jesus, you can see the pollen all over. Like, constantly got my... I look like I have jaundice. Constantly got my nose in flowers. It's the skimmia that I've been smelling. In this video, I just wanted to talk about some things that you could possibly do to just put some light protection down. And, you know, if you're worried about 1 or 2 or 3 things, and or if you're worried about everything, whatever, then there's nothing wrong with protecting your work, your hard-earned work money. I'm sorry, I've been out here for a while doing this. I noticed that my carnations are budding out. There's buds on them. I don't know if you can see this, but those are buds. Like, they literally have buds. I thought carnations bloomed in the summer, and they do, but these better bloom in the summer. These were a biennial for me, and it looks like last night it was like a light frost, but we're still, yeah, I can tell some have damage. Now, not all of them are coming up to, like, with buds. I would assume the majority of them. Oh my God. See, this is what happens when you're doing a million things at once. Ooh, this is covered in aphids. This is my Daphne perfume princess that I planted right here. I'm in love with this. Yeah, so that's nice. I'm hoping that that does me good. I probably won't see it. Well, it might put on some blooms this spring. I don't know. By the way, I also have some, I don't know if you could see them, some poppies. I was shocked that those came up and look great. I'm going to be transplanting them, though. I haven't started any work on my ponds. So many things were budded out. Like, I'm really, like, doing everything I can to cover this stuff up. Look, this is like a straight up, this is a bud. This is about to bloom. This carnation here is literally going to be in bloom soon. I guess maybe they can bloom as early as spring, because most of these have buds, actually. I didn't even notice that these carnations look like this. I was hoping that the foliage would correct itself and it'd get a new flush of foliage first, because there has actually been some typical frost damage for this for where I'm at. Obviously, it will lush out here in the spring, but I didn't think I'd get flowers before that. I'm so thrilled about having carnations, but I didn't think I would be getting them in winter. So I will be protecting these as well. And by the way, this is not anything that is going to save every single thing that I own. Like, it really isn't. It's this is just mild protection that can add a couple degrees, maybe. I don't know. I don't believe it's much of protection. I'm still terrified, and I've been kind of upset and depressed the past week, really, because I really do put a lot of time and effort and love into this work, and sometimes it can seem like the temperature is your enemy. And yeah, I'm just really hoping that tomorrow, not even really just tomorrow, but like tomorrow night, I think it's supposed to get down to a heavy frost again. I don't know. My dad says that it's not supposed to, that it's technically, it all happened on Saturday. It was like the high and the low for Saturday was the heavy frost, the light and the heavy. But I'm afraid that this is like a 2 to 3 day thing, and I can't leave Tent City in my garden for the next 2 or 3 days. All my freaking Mondial tulips were blooming, and I don't want to lose any of them. And it's just like, for the past like 3 or 4 hours, I've been like moving everything. I almost like broke my back. I brought like all of my outdoor plants into my living room. I brought like all the stuff that I'm either selling or growing for myself. Everything that I sell, I grow for myself. I'm not someone who ever really is gonna be selling anything that I don't myself want in my garden. If you're interested in one of these for sale, these little containers are gonna be beautiful, because what they are is a dwarf lupin, a Virginia stock, and a pastel mix of sweetalism in these like terracotta plastic pots I had just lying around. This right here, man. Oh my goodness. This is probably one of the most beautiful plants I think I've ever seen. My mom thinks they look like mops. I've been breathing it in so much. The fragrance of Skimmia japonica is unlike any other kind of fragrance that I've smelled. It's this is a male from Monrovia. It's just a Skimmia japonica. It doesn't have like a cultivar type name, or has been patented that way with a name. But yeah, this is it's a male, and it's just got these beautiful red maroon kind of buds that bloom in like February to April, I'd say. It's like a 2 to 3 month bloomer. God, even just where I'm sitting right now, I can smell it. I just like, this scent means everything to me. It smells like, for the past like week, I've had like yellow stuff going to work with like a suit and a tie and a collared shirt and just yellow stuff all around my face, looking crazy. I'm really, really heartbroken though, because these are very, very, when I went to my nursery, I go to, there's a lot of different nurseries around here. And whenever I went to mine to get this, because Monrovia shipped it to the nursery in question, and I picked it up. And whenever I got there, I got out of the car and I ran over to where they were kind of pulling up the new plants or the new arrivals. And I saw one Skimmia, and I like stopped. I was in a run, but then I stopped and I saw just this plant among these guys kind of moving around. And I was like, oh my God, that's the Skimmia. Like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it actually looked nicer then, because it's the last night, for one thing, it was that we had a light frost, maybe even more of a hard frost that I wasn't aware of. Well, no, it was a light frost, but it's also just kind of it climaxed the past week, and now it's kind of losing some of its flowers. But the one thing that took off most of its flowers, believe it or not, and I lost some seedlings last night too. We had an extremely hard storm come through, and it was like pelting rock like rain. It was like, it like really damaged. I'm selling strawberries, wild strawberries too, on my Etsy shop, and I lost some of those. Well, I didn't lose them, but it just really like made it look all ugly, and I had to fix that up. But yeah, it took off a lot of these. I don't know if you could see the they don't look nearly as full right now as they're supposed to. Like, this right here is one that's just budding out, and this is what they're supposed to look like. And it has the smell like this one, like these. I have 2 right now. I only have 2 left, but this smell is something that reminds me of like a field or a meadow, but it's got that fresh cut lawn or fresh cut grass kind of smell. It is so unbelievable. I just love it so much. It's such a unique fragrance, and it's a carrier. I call them like carriers. Like it's on the air a lot of the time around the plant, or if you're out in the yard and you have something like this, just like my cherry blossoms, that's a carrier. It's like you find the fragrance more in the air than you do. Like, when I was in the car ride home, I remember like I was like not detecting it as strongly as I wanted to, but I could tell it was very fragrant, but for some reason I wasn't getting it. It was just a kind of strange thing. And cherry blossoms, sakura, is kind of like that too. Like, a lot of people would think that there's no fragrance, that they wouldn't detect it. I can detect it. It's just, it's your brain kind of doing a weird thing on and off with that kind of certain flowers. And Skimmia is one of them. I want to get, and this coming fall, I'm going to get one more. I don't plan on getting a female. I'm not really interested in the berries, so I'm going to get the Q green, I think. And I'm going to have this one. So, I'll have two male Skimmia. Nothing ironic about that. So yeah, they're not going to be reproducing, but they will be mingling those scents, I think. And I wonder if the Q green flowers, or if all Skimmia flowers, like, or even the female, have it's the same kind of fragrance. I would think it would be, but yeah. You can see the yellow on the pollen. That's why I've had like this pollen all over my face, because I've been like breathing it in heavily. But it's just such a beautiful plant, man. This is just so beautiful. I could sit here and talk about this all day. If anyone else is looking at this right now and you don't think this is like one of the backdrop in here is this stupid wall. It's not outside. So I wish I could like stand in front of it or put like something white behind, so you could just really see just how amazing this is. This is such an amazing plant. But yeah, if you can't see right here, the tips of this one here is a good example. Right there, that's sun damage or damage from sun. Well, so yeah, when I went to the nursery right when I walked up to the guy, I was like, oh my gosh, is that my skimia? And he was like, are you Bradley? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, good luck. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, there's a reason you don't find them at any of the nurseries down here. He was like, I lived in Maryland for the first half of my life. And even up there, we kind of like, you know, these took a lot of work. But down here, these just really don't work. And I'm just like thinking, dude, come on, that's not what you're supposed to be telling me. You're supposed to be telling me like, this is gonna be great, this is gonna be beautiful. You're gonna have it the rest of your life. And even if I lose this one, man, I would buy another one immediately. Because I know I love skimia now, and I just want to have a couple of them. Hell, I might even get a female in the future, but they are difficult to where I'm at. In the southeast where I'm at is like classic humidity. It gets up there. I mean, it's no wonder we got that slow drawl, stereotypical southern slow drawl. That's where that comes from. It's just very intense humidity and very high heat. So yeah, having a skimia is just because for one thing, I don't believe they do well in humid climates like this, because technically I'm not coastal, but I'm 5 hours from the beach. They also are complete shade. Like I think they're supposed to tolerate 4 to 6 hours, but the thing is, well, yeah, I think I gave it more than that. And just for 1 or 2 days, I had it in a spot, right? That spot that I'm doing a lot of work on out there, where you can see all these trees right here. I've always had trouble doing that in a camera. Like, where am I going? All those trees there. I was hoping that would be the morning dappled shade it would need, and throughout afternoon, after 12 or 1, when it starts getting sun, like it would be enough to it would still be getting enough shade. But I realized very quickly, I saw it was too late, and just the tips of the tops of just a few of the leaves got damaged, and I was like, wow, this really cannot take any sun. And it's February, or I'm sorry, yeah, it's March. It's about mid-March, so like, I'm just praying that this man holds up, and I learn to really figure out how to take care of this. I care a lot about this plant, so I don't want to lose it, and I'm hoping I can acquire some kind of special touch, specifically me, for this plant, and that can make it thrive, and I can have it. Which sucks, because I put a lot on me in that sense, and which means the more devastated you become when you fail. I'm sorry, I've been rambling this whole time, but yeah, my mom was just saying, why don't you make a YouTube video for your channel, so people see how crazy you are. And I was like, why would I do that, Mom? Thank you guys for watching, and if you are also experiencing a sudden late frost, or I don't care if you want to cover every damn thing in your yard. The hell with what anyone else thinks. But if you're willing to put that work in, cover it all, take everything that you can in, or in your garage or a basement or something, I'm completely fine with that. I've covered quite a bit today. Almost everything I feel like I covered. Not just the budded out stuff, but things that had new foliage or new leaves. Do I think it's all going to be perfectly fine? No. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. The point is, I tried my best. It's not that big a deal. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully spring will come to stay sometime soon. All right, bye.